I know there's been some crazy finishes, but
Yep.
where does that one rank in your career?
Man, that's at the top for me. Like, interim head coach or not, like that's one of the craziest finishes I've seen. I've seen the back and forth kicks, and somebody's got to bring it out of the end zone and take a knee or what have you. But to actually finish on a rouge, I mean, it's got to rank in the top two for me.
Why Jake instead of going with the field goal?
Well, going with a more veteran guy, a guy that's been there and done it, and didn't want to put too much pressure on Blanchard in that situation. Felt like we got a few yards. I tried to get another touchdown to Gino, wasn't able to connect with him, but, I looked at Jake and I'm like, hey, can you kick it out of the back of the end zone? Gotcha. So, I trusted him. I believe in him. I see him kick it every day. They had one returner back there, so, it played into our favor.
You guys end up 7-6, like we were talking about, since you and Jarious took over. What does that say to you? What does it mean to you as a head coach?
Well, you know what? It's awesome. First opportunity, to be an interim head coach, and I felt like we put our best foot forward. Of course, I would have loved to win a few more of those games, or even be a part of maybe a few earlier wins. And I think it's a different scenario than us wrapping up the season tomorrow.
How about just the rotation between Daggy and Trey? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, I wanted to get Daggy some reps a couple weeks ago in Calgary. Wasn't able to just because of how the third quarter lull went a little bit, and I think Trey had an interception. So I wanted him to be able to work through that as well as, potentially come back and win the game. I didn't want to take him out in a situation like that and make him feel like, you did something bad, so I'm going to reprimand you for it, right? So, and then this game, they knew all week that Trey was going to play the first quarter, Daggy was going to play the second quarter. And we played by ear after that as far as when Daggy would go back in. Trey knew he would go back in, and, I told him coming out of halftime, hey, man, this is an opportunity for you to go shine. We're down. We've struggled all year in situations like this to come back and win games that were, less than 10 points. So, we're still going to run the ball. We're not going to abandon the run, but at the same time, when we have the opportunity to make plays in the pass game or you get an opportunity to go scramble, go be you, man, go be great. And that's what he did tonight.
Tell us about that fourth quarter, because it was probably the best fourth quarter you've had all year.
Hey, you know what? The guys, man, they I told them have fun, play loose, but, let's still stick to our principles that we've been abiding by for the past 11 games. And, to me, that's being great decision makers, being disciplined. I mean, we didn't minimize penalties. I mean, I think we were 13 or 14 for 135, but we were still able to overcome them, right? But, I think that's just a testament to those guys and how they practice all week. From day one onward, those guys were eager. They were happy to be here. Nobody's looking forward to going home. It was all about finishing the season strong.
Tell us a little bit about Matthysse getting his first touchdown ever, and a great big play. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen of the progression of him.
You know what? The progression is there for him. I'm glad he was able to get his feet wet this year. We were anticipating him playing behind Gino. Hergy Mayala goes down, and we've got to stick him in at what we call the R position, third one, from the sideline to the field. And, he's just week by week, he's just been progressing and getting better and better each week. And, called a couple deep shots early on. Trey was able to hit Gino on the first one because we missed him early in the game. He was there, and Trey threw it to the flat, but he was able to hit Gino on the go ball and then came right back with a similar scheme. And, I'm like, hey, if the deep shot isn't there, check it down to the sideline or over the ball. And, he was able to, again, use his God-given talent, scramble, kind of extend the play, and then all of a sudden Matthysse popped wide open. So, and he found him. I mean, those guys have connected a lot in practice. So, I was happy to see that.
Absolutely.
Everybody good? Awesome. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. All right.